What is up, beautiful people? Today, and thank you very much for joining in the premiere first of all, but I do want to have a small look at this video today where we have kids reviewing K-pop stars, and I thought why not let them review Shinee. I really enjoy Shinee over the last days, and I thought why not just keep up the hype? Why not just keep Shinee going on? For some people who have been on the channel already, you know that I normally review K-pop videos. That is true, but I actually also found some other videos lately that I want to deep dive a little bit into because I want to understand groups a little bit better. I want to understand a little bit more what's in their minds and how they react in certain scenarios outside of MVs. I really think that's a humane aspect to look at, and that's what we're going to do today. So if you know the video, great. If you don't know the video, then please just join it with us, and let's have a good time watching how kids review Shinee. I really look forward to this already. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that kids really are like a good method to test how people are in the world, because either you like kids and you know how to deal with them, or you really don't. It's always a 50-50.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
귀여워. 아저씨 누군지 알아요?
몰라요.
몰라요?
Like literally, I just think Key is just, where is he? Key really has that expression. I always say that when we look at Key, he always has this dead-on expression as if like, yo man, don't fuck with me. And it's cool. I really like that he just shares it even with kids. It's just him, and it's not meant in a bad way. It's just how he is as a person.
이름이 뭐예요?
우장호.
나는 이태민. 악수? 근데
Okay, one more thing I want to notice, and I know one person is going to be part of this, and in case you're not there, but Otaku, I need to look at more parts of Himtopia. But one thing I do want to say is that Taemin is really that one person who always comes over as a bit of a fatherly figure, a motherly figure. He always seems as if he concerns about others, which I just think is a very nice, humane aspect. And it always shows, you know, Taemin is very unique when it comes to that.
근데 연예인 보는 것 같아요.
아니요.
나 이거 본 적 있거든요.
뭐 하는 사람인데요?
샤이니의 민호라고 해요. 민호 삼촌. 알아요?
아니요.
A little bit of a fun fact, I have some Korean friends, and when you mention K-pop, they don't even know what it is. It's really not as big as it is in Korea as you might think it is. So if you go to Korea and you think everyone knows about everyone, no, that's completely incorrect. I was even surprised that when one of my friends, I said like, do you know BTS? Can you book them for me? And they're like, why would you book a group that you don't even know who they are? And I was like, well, I do know who they are. Do you know who they are? And they said, no, they don't know who they are. And I thought that was a very interesting aspect to understand as well.
TV 안 봐?
가끔
놀라운 토요일 몰라요?
알아요.
나 거기 나온 아저씨잖아.
키?
가사 잘 맞추는 아저씨잖아.
아, 키.
아저씨 화면이랑 많이 다르니? 삼촌이 노래하고 춤추는 거 본 적 있어?
네. 이거 정답 맞춰가지고 춤.
아니 예능에서 말고.
6학년?
네.
2008년
2009년이죠.
2009년생.
네.
2008년에 데뷔를 했어요.
오.
Wow. Even I'm like, wow, that really just shows how long they are in the business. It's forever.
약간 현타 오는데.
팀이 있어요. 샤이니란 팀인데.
Yeah, exactly. That is a real reality check, you know, that people are just born in 2009 and you're like, damn, you started in 2008. That's a big reality check. It just shows how quick time actually goes. Wow.
노래 불렀고 했는지 보여줄게요. 알겠죠? 같이 봐요.
네.
오른쪽.
삼촌 뻘이죠? 거의 아빠 뻘인가?
혹시 연세가 어떻게 해요?
저는 33살이에요.
아니 그러면은 삼촌이신 걸로.
삼촌 정도?
네.
옆으로 한번 넘겨볼게요. 16살 때 데뷔했을 때요. 2000.
Replay. I don't know. That's always in my head. When I get that song, I just have to say that part. Sorry for that.
민서 양이 태어나기 1년 전에. 이때 누나 너무 예뻐라는 곡으로 나왔어.
누나가 너무 예뻐요?
응.
어떤 거 같아요? 제목이?
너무 칭찬하는 느낌 같아요.
영상이다.
5 stars from the universe. The most
Wow, I have not seen this clip. Is that how they debuted actually or not? If you do know that, put it in the comments below if you know where to find this video, because I would love to see their debut, where they actually came as a first time into the stars and where they got introduced.
와 이거 창피하다.
shining.
One more thing I want to notice, by the way, and I just picked it up lately because I'm looking a lot at Key. He really has a terrible laugh. And don't blame him, you know, it's just how he is born. But he really has one of those laughs as if he is choking into himself, and it makes him so unique. Not a lot of people have it, but for the people that do have it, it's a very ugly laugh because it's like, you know, and it's fine. There are people like that. There's other people as well that I know that have this, and it's very unique, but at the same time, such an ugly laugh, and it makes him so unique. It's a very interesting aspect about him. It's so embarrassing, actually. I have the same when I go look at some older videos of mine. I bet if I look at some of my older videos when I started this YouTube channel, I'm like, oh my god, where am I landing myself into?
누군데요?
여기 보이지? 가운데.
가운데? 대장이에요?
Good question. Are you the boss?
오, 진짜요? 지금도 젊어 보이세요, 근데?
그래요? 13년 전인데.
아,
진짜 오래전이고.
It must be so amazing, though, you know, to look at these videos and you're watching it with a younger generation, and it's as if, damn, time is passing by really quick. And whether the kids are there or not, I think this is also a very nice aspect for Shinee to actually look at what they have been through, where they started and where they are now, and all the dramas and all the goods, the bads has all developed over the years. It's a very interesting aspect to actually look at this.
엄청 떨렸었을 때 앞에 엄마 아빠도 앉아있고
He also looked very different. He didn't really have his own unique style yet there, Key. He was working on it, and I think by now he has mastered the style that he wants to be part of.
어때요?
옛날스러워요.
It's true, it is very old-fashioned.
그 옛날 느낌이 촌스럽다는 거 아니에요?
아니죠, 레트로.
레트로.
네, 네.
좋아요.
It's true, it's very retro. This is the kind of music or video type that you would see most likely on, you know, the old classical MTV, you know, they play some of these older songs. This is really retro. These kids are smart.
뭐 어차피 데뷔 무대니까.
그쵸.
그래서 우리 쭉쭉 봐 나가면서 얘기할 수 있으니까 봐봐요.
So what's the next video?
아미고 무슨 뜻인지.
아미고?
줄임말이에요.
It means friends.
삼행시 같은 거 해볼래요? 아미고로?
아미고로요? 아, 아무데나 미로같이 고등학생? 말이 안 되나?
It's so great just to let kids, you know, use their imagination to whatever they want. It's fantastic.
아름다운 미녀를 좋아하면 고생한다였어요. 우리가
What?
이렇게
What? One sec, let's go back there. Falling in love with a beautiful woman will give you a hard time. Amigo? Wait, did I just think that I knew it and it means friends, but they changed it? Like, or can someone just explain to me why they changed it so difficultly? Like, what's the thought input here, actually? Like, can someone just say how they split this up? Is this like a Korean word that they made out of nothing? Or is it the word made out of Korean words?
고생한다였어요.
Yeah, her face is literally my expression.
우리가 이렇게 웃기는 팀이었어요.
Oh my god, I really have to look at some of these backstages from back then. They were really retro. Retro is the right term for this.
저런 거 완소남 이런 거 처음 들어보죠.
완전 소나기 같은 남자.
비슷했어.
이거 10대 때예요?
이때도 중3 때야.
여기
Wow, 9th grade. Unbelievable.
뭐예요?
이건 팬들.
팬이 이렇게 많았다고요? 아 잠깐만, 알 것 같은데?
어디서 봤지?
그거 놀토에 나오지
놀토,
않아요?
맞아, 놀토.
오, 맞았다.
Oh. To be honest, I don't know the show. Does anyone know the show in the chat? If you do, just tell me. Is it a good show? Is it worth looking into? Should we maybe review that once together as well? Maybe go through it? Would be fun as well. Maybe there's subtitles.
하랑이 삼촌 왜 한 번 봤어?
놀토에서 가장 좋아하는 사람이 키인데 내가 만나다니 이런 생각 한번 했어요.
갑자기? 그래서 평소랑 다르게 긴장한 거야?
네.
There. I always love that word, there. No matter where I work, you know, as long as you work with Koreans, you will hear that so often, there. I always thought like they're just going,
이거는
It's unique.
줄리엣이라는 노래.
봐봐, 이게
줄리엣.
줄리엣.
Wow.
스타일이 다들 신기하시네요.
That's a really awkward hairstyle.
파란색에다 폭탄 머리사랑 이렇게 똘망똘망하네요.
Don't you just love the kids' imagination? They really see things different, you know, because they just don't know it better. But it's amazing to hear their perspective. It's fantastic.
이루어질 수 없는 사랑이잖아. 그거를 우리가 컨셉으로 해서 앨범이 나온
자꾸
거야.
사랑 같은 이야기.
사랑 얘기가
오, 닭살도다. 이건 뭐예요?
이건 뭐야? 이거 뭐야? 1위?
오, 1위를 하셨었구나.
점수를 더해서 제가 1위를 뽑도록 하겠습니다. 과연 1위는요?
희정춘이잖아.
What did they win? What is this?
엄청 놀랬었어.
A music award or something? Or you can really see the emotion slowly in the eyes, you know, of all the Shinee members, where they're like, damn, they really were somewhere back there, you know. And at the moment, they of course still are something, but it's amazing to see their emotional expressions. Like, damn, that was a long time ago, and that is, you know, a very long time ago for them. And the time just passed so much.
멤버예요, 멤버. 공연 점수.
여러 가지 감정이 드셨을 것 같아요. 근데 와 진짜
Oh man, this must be really hard to look at, you know, even for them.
진짜 오랜만에
This is a good show.
감회가 새로우시겠어요. 네.
Uh huh.
진짜.
It's really true. When you listen to old songs, it really just makes you think, you know, of out of the ordinary things that happened back then as well. So she's happy.
2009년.
이제 민서
Damn, we're only in 2009 yet.
와우. 한층
Oh, wow.
성장해주신 느낌이에요.
수능 금지곡 아나? 자꾸 귀에서 맴돌아가지고 공부할 때 절대 들으면 안 된다 그래서 수능 금지곡이라는 별명이 붙었어요.
왜냐면 이 노래는 한 번 듣잖아? 그럼
SAT, you know, because of the exams. So depending where you are, SATs, I think in America, well, you got the A levels in the UK. So interesting. So the final classes, you know, the final exams.
머릿속에서 계속 맴돌아.
링딩동? 딩딩동 딩딩 딩딩동 딩딩 중독되잖아요.
중독돼서 맞아요.
이따 집에 가서
It's really addictive. It would be cool if a company came back and they were able to use this for a marketing perspective. Like, I think it would be very beneficial.
참 특이하네.
바로 다음 앨범이 루시퍼 앨범이었어요.
Lucifer. Really love this song.
제가 태어나고 나서 나온 노래는 있어요.
그럼요, 많죠. 자, 일단
Really, it's one of my favorite songs from Shinee. I really love the idea behind it. I think it was the choreography that made it so cool.
이상해. 머리 기른 거야, 가발이에요?
가발 가짜로 이렇게 붙인 건데
지금이 훨씬 나아요.
Uh-huh.
팬분들
I will agree. He really looks better with the age. And that doesn't happen to a lot of people. Some people turn a little bit uglier. Some people look better. He really just grew with his age. He became like a mature wine, if you can say so.
이렇게 응원을 막 해주시면은
아,
더
그
힘이
소리가
나세요.
들리는구나.
네.
엄청 나죠. 이때 생각보다 인기 많았어요. 지금 민서양이
네.
생각하는 그 정도가 아닐 수도 있어요.
네, 아유 제가 네. 근데 지금 봤을 때는 굉장히 특이한 것 같아요.
이제 드디어 하은이가 태어나서 이제 혜인이 2살 때네, 하은이.
샤이니 스펙?
아, 그 놀토에 나온 노래가 이 노래야.
You can even see for back then, you know, the dance choreographies were very amazing. And it's just fantastic how far Shinee, over all those couple of years before their big debut, they actually grew this big and they were so motivated to do their best. They were just amazing. Yeah, they're really good dance moves.
신기하지 이거. 이렇게 걸어가면서
해봐야 돼.
여기 서서 이렇게 약간 이렇게 뛰는 느낌. 맞아. 근데
여기
이거
I really like Taemin. He is, I think, going to be a great father when he grows up in the future, if he wants to be a father, of course. But he is very friendly. He's very caring. He always wants to make sure that everyone is just having a good time. I really like these characteristics from him.
여기
이거는 노래랑 춤이 너무 어려워서 삼촌도 연습 정말 많이 했었던 기억밖에 안 나요.
셜록이 굉장히 짜임새 있었다고 생각이 들거든요.
I agree. 100%. I think that Sherlock was one of those songs where I think they had to do a lot of preparations. Even when I was looking at the MV for the first time and we analyzed it together, you can clearly see that they put a lot of time in making sure that the choreography fits, that the MV fits, that the song really fits, and it all complements each other greatly together. And that's a very important point. It has to complement each other or else it doesn't really work.
이 무대를 봤다면 굉장히 대단하다고 생각했을 것 같아요. 아, 지금도 대단한데 이때는 더욱더 네.
그래요?
네.
어때요 이건?
좋아요.
오 진짜?
네, 좋은데 누가 누군지 모르겠어요.
You can literally see as well that Onyu is very quiet as a person. He is very relaxed. He listens a lot, but I have a feeling he's also very shy to just not say things and he just wants to let other people speak before him.
이거 화랑이가 태어난 연도에 나온 노래예요.
2013년?
This kid is amazing. He's a real boss. I have a feeling if he was growing up, I want him to be like the next Psy or something. You know, he really has that awesome attitude and it's great. I love the energy.
대박. 뭘 들고 막 다니시네요. 골프지 아니에요? 아, 골프지.
마이크. 가지고 있고. 그럼 이건 세련된 것 같아요?
네.
할머니 같다거나 이런 건 아니고?
이거는 약간 빈티지네요, 그럼.
Very good term actually to use the words vintage and retro. They really went with a unique style here. And I want to look at this video where they focus highly on just the dance choreography because I think it's fantastic, which I think they still failed a little bit in the MV, that they didn't really capture the mic stands good enough, especially if that was one of the highlights within the choreography. They didn't really hit it on the nail there, in all honesty.
그럼 그동안 못 알아보고 있어?
찾고 있었어요.
뭐 있었어?
노래를 되게 잘하시네요. 되게 신나네요, 이 노래.
They are all good singers. Like literally, they all have their skills. I think if anything, Shinee is one of the only groups, or from the couple of groups at least, that really have all of the members being capable of singing. Not every group has that.
따라 불러줘요. 가사 보니까.
That makes also the songs very addictive. You can sing along with all of them, which is great.
친하게 있었어야 됐네.
오,
3년 전?
되게 최근 느낌이.
He's very quiet, very humble. You know, it's a very different characteristics, especially if you compare him to Key. Key is very, you know, he knows what he wants. He's a little bit like, hey, look at me. I know I'm good, so I can just say what I want in most cases and be a little bit, you know. While here, Onyu is a little bit more quiet, and that's totally fine.
나네요.
나요 이제?
네, 옷도 그렇고 느낌이 조금 달라진 것 같아요.
But yet they kept their style. I think that's most important. Shinee kept their style over all the years. That is an important key element to remember.
한 명 없어요?
네, 한 명 없어요.
누구예요? 나갔어요?
종현이 삼촌이라고 그 몸이 좀 아파서
그럼 나쁜 삼촌 아니네.
나쁜 삼촌 아니고 좋은 삼촌인데
좋은 삼촌.
그래서 이때는
Very subtle way of saying, you know, without going into drama or anything. He just says very nicely to a kid what happened, and it's like he wanted to say what happened, but he turned back and he thought to himself he's actually talking to a kid. It doesn't really make sense for him to say what actually happened. Really, really, really good job on Minho. You know, that you can also see that this was also a weird way for him to say it. Like there was this millisecond of like thinking about, should I say it, should I not say it? If yes, how should I say it? A really good way of saying it. Very professional. Good job, Minho. Very, very clean. And he also talks as if he didn't pass away. He really just talks as if he's just gone for the time being and they'll meet up in the future again. Very humble. Very nice.
그래서 약간 그런 마음을 좀 담은 앨범이었었어 이때가. 다 4명으로 처음 나온 무대였어 이게.
Really, dude, Key,
마음을 좀
can
담은
you
앨범이었었어 이때가. 다 4명으로 처음 나온 무대였어 이게.
Can you really just not look at people as if you're trying to suck their soul out of their bodies? I mean, he really just looks and stares at them in the most interesting ways ever, you know?
진짜 감동.
And yet he has this very nice smile, you know? I like that about Key. He has this seriosity there, but at the same time, it's him. He does everything to be nice to. He doesn't always show his nice point, but he is a super nice person.
느낌이 그런가 보다.
He has a very unique way of being nice to people.
춤 진짜 좋게.
You can literally see them when I look at their videos that they're just going through memory lane and they're going back in the past and really just seeing how things have changed over the time. And it's just fantastic to see, you know, like just by them watching this video, it also just relates them to other memories because we don't know what happened in the backstage, but they're really just having their heads full at the moment. It's fantastic.
이 노래는 어땠어요?
좋았어요.
이 노래 좋았어요?
네.
오, 점점 최근 거는 다 좋아해 주네, 하은이가. 옛날 거
Is it fair to say actually that Minho is the most mature from all of the group? I have a feeling he could be a very good spokesperson for Shinee. Maybe he is, but he really seems as if he is the most mature from all of them. He knows how to talk. He's very trustworthy in the way he's talking, and he also seems as if he believes in himself, which is great. He really has that positive energy that every time he speaks, it's like, I want to listen to him. He sounds very, like what he wants to say is very important.
예스럽고.
아니요. 제가 잘못 말했어요.
거짓말 하지 마. 아까 보자마자 예스럽다 이렇게. 여기 카메라에 다 찍혔는데.
편집해 주실 거예요.
지금까지 다 본 것 중에 뭐가 제일 좋았어요?
이거
루시퍼?
Uh-huh.
정말?
진짜 제 스타일인 것 같아요.
I'll agree. I think Lucifer is one of the better songs. I really think it has a very nice edge to it. It's a little bit harder than the rest of their songs, and it's a very nice vibe. It's a little bit more in your face, which is great. And after that, the best song that I think they have is actually Don't Call Me, because it has more or less that same type of vibe. It's also a little bit more of a oomph, you know? Oh, there he already says it, key. It's a little bit of a powerful song.
굉장히 강하고 세거든요. 어때요? 방금 오는데?
Ah, the kid is liking it.
마음에 들어요?
네.
다행이다.
It's a really good song as well. Like Don't Call Me is, if anything, a very interesting song to listen to, and it's still very fresh. It's easy to remember. I love the bit of English in it. I think it's just a good combination of everything. A good combination of all the Shinee members.
그 2008년도부터 데뷔해서 10년 넘게 활동한 거 봤는데 어땠어요?
노력하신 것 같아요. 멋졌어요.
멋졌어요?
Uh-huh.
그래도 열심히 활동한 게 다 잘 보였어요?
네.
You can clearly see it. And I already said this as well in all of my MVs. You can really, really, really see that they had a hard time during all of these MVs, during all of this prep and trying to understand the music, singing the songs, learning the choreographies. And we're not only talking about Shinee, we're talking about the entire production team. So also talking about SM Entertainment. They really put a lot of effort into Shinee, and you can really see that they just didn't do it half-assed. They really did a good job, and hats off to them, you know. And it also shows why they're still really big now, because they still have that same energy. The moment they lose that energy is also most likely the end of Shinee, because you would notice it very quickly.
힘들었어요?
조금? 근데 지금
I'm really curious if they did have a hard time, but I can only imagine that they all did. I mean, they were all younger. They had barely any experience on stage. They never were in front of cameras. I can imagine them having even near burnouts, but let's see what he says.
어리고 생각도
Yeah, you were small, immature.
그러니까 그런 데서 오는
Come on, say it.
스트레스가
Yeah.
많았던 것 같아요.
Like, stress is one of the biggest things that we humans just don't know how to cope with at times. And we can do our best to think that it's not there, but sadly our bodies don't work like that. And especially if you're new to a certain environment, you're going to be stressed out a lot. And I'm amazed that Shinee stuck together for such a long time, of course.
이렇게 TV에 나오고 하니까 그 대중들의 시선 이런 게 좀 두려웠던 것 같아요. 너무 어렵게 말하나?
내가 태어나기 전이니까 당연히 전
But it's nice to see that they're still very human, you know? Really cool.
이거는 다 아니잖아요.
또 솔로로도 활동을 한 적 있었어.
솔로요?
응. 진짜 앨범 이렇게 쌓으면 막 이렇게 쌓일 거야?
우리 삼촌은 30대인데 솔로인데.
So the kid actually thinks that he's solo. But he is solo, but it's great, you know? Great attitude.
진짜 막 처음에는 사실 좀 걱정했거든요. 말을 못 하니까.
친화력이 좋으신 것 같아요.
I noticed that as well. You're not a good talker, but I have still a feeling that if you know how to talk to you, to him. You really know that he's that person who wants to listen. He's not going to be the loudest. He's just going to be there listening. And if he wants to say something, he will say it. But he's not going to be that one throwing out his voice all the time. I think he, on the other hand, a little bit different from that. But I like that. I like that all the Shinee members are a little bit unique from each other and they all have their own characteristics. It makes them so unique.
반대 아니에요?
아니에요.
진짜로?
네.
진짜 고마워요.
아,
많은 힘을 얻고.
The one thing that I don't like though about Korean shows, and generally this is maybe something that I notice in Korea, is that they really have everything timed. That means that if time is up, they really have to stop filming at a certain time. And I wish that sometimes they just continued filming for the sake of it. Like, I don't think a half an hour more would make much more of a headache. What do you guys think? Would it be greater or better if they had this, but maybe 20, 30 minutes long? I think it would be fantastic.
가는 것 같아요.
삼촌 보니까 어땠어요 오늘?
최고의 하루였던 것
Good for you, little boy.
태환이 씨 누가 제일 좋아?
기상천이야.
오빠가 활동하는 이런 거 영상 유튜브에서 꼭 찾아봤으면 좋겠어.
삼촌 이름 뭐라고?
민호,
팀 이름이 뭐라고요?
샤이니,
샤이니.
샤이니,
Wow, you can literally see it, you know, when he says,
샤이니.
샤이니.
the moment he says shiny, like I have a feeling like a billion types of memories just flew through his brain and thinking, holy shit, where have we landed over all these years? And it's fantastic as well. Like, you're not just looking at someone who did nothing. You're really looking at people who did a lot over the last 10 years, even longer now, you know. It's really just mind-blowing because I have not worked for this long ever yet, and they have been working since they're kids, you know. So I cannot imagine myself in those shoes, in all honesty. I think it's really a unique experience.
빛나는 샤이니.
누나는
샤이니.
예뻐.
오, 그 데뷔곡. 또 기억나는 곡 또. 아까
그거랑 띵띵동.
오.
So yeah, guys, that is kids reviewing K-pop stars, and in this version we're looking at Shinee. I must say it's one of the most humble things that I've ever seen in a long time on YouTube. Normally I'm not a big fan of these series, you know, kids react to a certain thing. I think it's sometimes overused, and I also feel so sad for the kids because I have a feeling they're just put there and they don't really know what they're doing. But here you can clearly see that the kids don't know who Shinee is and they're trying to learn a little bit about them, and I think that's really cool. And at the same time, it's not just about kids learning about Shinee, it's also Shinee perceiving how newer generations perceive Shinee. It's a very interesting method, and also I think it's good for them to see, what do they think of our music? Is it still good? Have we progressed? And it's really just fantastic to see how the kids, just like I said when I started looking at Shinee videos, that they noticed that Shinee puts a lot of effort into making their music and becoming as big as they are. I think it's a fantastic decision here, and they did a good job on this video. I mean, what do you guys think? Should I have a look at more ODG videos or not? Is it also with more K-pop groups? I'm going to look a little bit into it. If it is, we might do this maybe a weekly. I think it could be really fun. I mean, for the people who did not watch it yet, I hope you enjoyed watching it with me at least, and I do apologize for pausing at times, but I want to pause sometimes and I just don't want to talk over it, because I think if people talk over each other, you lose information. So I think it's a little bit better if I pause and then you can continue on. But I really, really enjoy these kind of series. I like series that they don't just, I like series that are just not made to, you know, to make you feel warm. I like series that are a little bit natural. They don't have this overall expression as if they just want to make it seem as if Shinee is amazing, that they're soft. I really want them to deep dive into the parts where it's really just a natural experience, and I like that. I want to see the natural habitat of Shinee, and I don't want to see it forced, and in this case I saw nothing forced. It was very nice to look at both these mature people and these younger people talk to each other, and really, really cool. I mean, guys, what do you actually think of the video? I mean, just leave it in the chat, of course. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there talking to you guys, and I'm going to add maybe 2 minutes at the end so we can leave the chat open a little bit longer. Just have a very quick discussion. And of course, if you haven't, make sure to check out all the links down below. Make sure to check out the Discord, the Patreon, and everything else as well. I really enjoyed this, and guys, thank you very much for joining this time, and I hope to see you on the next video, whether it is a MV review or anything K-pop related. I'll catch you then.